Could you believe that more than half of Americans, about 58%, are financially broke and they need their monthly salary to pay for their costs? This is a big problem that affects people all over the country, no matter where they live. The numbers show that even though the United States may seem wealthy, many hardworking folks are struggling to make ends meet, and this goes against the traditional American dream. Money issues aren't solely tied to income levels. Some individuals with lower-paying jobs save substantially, while higher earners often struggle due to excessive spending. Warren Buffett shows how to gather wealth, even if you don't have a lot of money. It's important to focus on being financially stable and making money without working too hard for it. If you want to get rid of your debt and have the life you want, you should understand important money rules. Warren Buffett, who is very successful with money, teaches us 5 important things that help with money problems. To know about these 5 important things and how they can stop us from growing our savings, keep watching this video till the end. The first thing is always to keep your expenses in check. So firstly, let's talk about impulse spending. Businesses, they are all after making a profit. And though we may often criticize them for chasing money, the truth is, in today's world, survival is a big driving force for all of us. The real issue here lies in our individual choices when it comes to buying stuff. Many people tend to make unplanned purchases, even if they aren't necessary. Developing a keen sense of what you really need can have a major impact on your financial health, helping you see the increased wealth from the money you save. When you start making these thoughtful choices, you start investing and you see your money grow, which ignites the desire for it to grow even more. This gets you thinking about ways to boost your income. Whether you're saving or investing, shifting your mindset to that of a producer becomes really important. This shift helps you understand the game of economics. It might mean putting in more time at your job to aim for a promotion, starting a side gig like freelancing or a small business. The goal remains the same: generate more cash flow, following the same principles that businesses you buy from use. The aim here is to acquire more assets and speed up the growth of your wealth, creating opportunities to focus on the things that matter the most to you. At its core, it's all about being prepared, as illustrated by Warren Buffett's analogy. Understanding and preparing for financial challenges isn't just about predicting these problems, it's about actively building strategies to overcome them. Second point is payment traps. Warren Buffett, he makes it super clear, but you gotta be careful because those low prices can come back to haunt you. A lot of folks who look all fancy aren't really rolling in money, they just seem like it. They have fancy stuff that makes you wonder, how in the world can they afford that when I can't? Well, Warren Buffett puts it this way when talking about those who seem all rich and fancy. You only find out who's been skinny dipping when the tide goes out. In other words, when you really dig into it, you see who's genuinely wealthy and who's faking it. The truth is, they can't afford it, but they think they can. For instance, let's say someone you know bought a snazzy Mercedes recently. It's a real head-turner, and they only pay $350 a month for it. But just because they can manage $350 a month doesn't mean they could buy it brand new with cash up front. In other words, they can't really afford it. What happens is, it tricks you into thinking you can spend more money than you actually have, because you're not dropping big chunks of cash on the things you own, like dropping $41,000 on a brand new Mercedes. This is a spot where you see this a lot, especially with zero APR deals. At that point, you can almost buy anything with a zero APR rate and pay in monthly chunks. For example, an inflatable kayak on Amazon that costs between $150 and $300 can be paid off in monthly bits of $20 to $30. Those bits might make you feel like you can afford more stuff, but in the end, you still gotta cough up the whole amount. When you're not just paying $350 a month for a car, but also $75 a month for a sofa and a whole bunch of other things in your home, plus the credit card debt, you're gonna be financially stuck forever. Another common issue is folks who rack up credit card debt and are staring bankruptcy in the face or have gone through it once before. They owe a ton of money and they can't even handle the interest. Forget about paying down the principal. So don't get caught in payment traps meant to keep you struggling financially. Number 3 is the flashy lifestyle. But before we talk about it, please take a moment to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell down there. Remember, your support is our only inspiration. The unfortunate truth is that social media really amps things up. They showcase heaps of folks who seem loaded, but in reality, they're not rich at all. In fact, there have been several stories of people who've racked up thousands of dollars in debt just to look good on Instagram. It's a straightforward fix. Steer clear of the flashy lifestyle. Check out Warren Buffett, for instance. You won't spot any fancy labels on his suits. He prefers budget-friendly meals and still lives in the very first home he bought. Yet, look at how wealthy he is. You can follow in his footsteps. Focus on what truly matters in your life, and at the same time, build up wealth. Number 4 is very important: compounding. Concentrate on compounding your money, which makes it grow exponentially. To achieve this, grasp the fundamental concepts of assets and liabilities. Assets put money in your pocket, like dividend-paying stocks and real estate. Liabilities take money out, such as cars, clothes, or new phones. To become genuinely wealthy, prioritize purchasing assets over liabilities. Here's an example to make it crystal clear. Instead of splurging on an expensive car, someone keen on personal finance invested in a small apartment complex. It generated a monthly profit of $300, demonstrating how assets bring in cash, while liabilities, despite being showy, offer no return. The beauty of it all is that you don't need a ton of cash to kickstart the compounding effect. Real estate might be costly, but you can buy assets like stocks that pay dividends with as little as $5 a day, $5 a week, or even $5 a month. You can go with whatever you're comfortable with. Just remember, assets are not the same as stashing your money in a savings account. A savings account won't do much to grow your money. You need your money to work for you and expand. And that's precisely what assets do. The more money you've got tied up in assets, the quicker it'll multiply, and the faster you'll become wealthy. Here's a simple rule to effectively use compounding: the 5-to-1 rule. That means for every $5 you spend on liabilities, set aside $1 for assets. If you drop $15 at Walmart, then invest $3 in Walmart. If you shell out $80 at Costco, then allocate $16 for Costco. Last but not least, number 5. We'll talk about the zero balance. Let's say you have $50 in your bank account. Usually, when you think you have $50 in your bank account, you assume you have $50 to spend, right? Well, this can lead to significant trouble. My advice to you is, if you can't afford it, don't buy it, and work towards a situation where you can afford anything. As Warren Buffett says, don't buy what you can't afford. Just having $50 doesn't mean you can spend all of it. This is exactly what zero balance thinking is all about. Zero balance thinking can harm your wealth. It's also why your income alone doesn't determine whether you're financially well off or not. For instance, Warren Buffett lives on a budget of around $100K a year, even though he's the 5th richest person globally. On the other hand, if you earn $40K a year and spend $40K a year, you're still in a financially tight spot. Similarly, if you make $100K a year and spend $100K a year, you're still struggling. What you should do is allocate a portion of your earnings for savings, so you're prepared for unexpected expenses and investments, allowing your money to grow over time. Warren Buffett purchased his first stock 77 years ago on March 11 for $14.75, and it's a powerful example of long-term investing. As Mr. Buffett shared his own experience, "I once knew a colleague who received a $250 stimulus check during a profitable year for our company. They decided to spend the entire amount on a new pair of pants, which isn't a wise financial choice. So to avoid such thinking, he advises to follow a simple rule, the rule of 5. If you can't purchase 5 of the same item with cash, you can't really afford it. For example, if you have $50, limit your spending to a maximum of $10 on something. Keep your path to financial prosperity straightforward, as Warren Buffett advises. Another crucial aspect to consider is the often overlooked habit of spending, similar to regular food purchases. Always anticipate the need to buy food and aim for the best prices. When stocks dip, take advantage of buying when the market is down to secure better deals. So, are you ready to transform your financial future? What steps will you take to apply Warren Buffett's wisdom in your life? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more valuable insights. Thanks for watching.